All right, let's talk Avengers Doomsday. The rumor mill is on fire right now, and there's one theory in particular that's got everyone talking. It's about how the Fantastic Four are going to show up. But here's the thing, it's not really about them. It's about who they might be bringing with them.
So we're pretty sure a ship is on its way, probably tearing a hole through reality to get here. But the real question, the one that could flip everything on its head, is who's actually on it. Is it who we expect? Or is there a secret guest list that's going to change the game for the entire multiversal war before it even begins? Okay, let's start with a part of the theory you might have already heard. This is the setup, the foundation for the absolutely wild twist that's coming.
So, the popular idea, right, is that the Fantastic Four don't exist in the main MCU timeline. Not yet, anyway. They're going to arrive from their own universe. Simple enough? But that little detail, that they're not from around here, is absolutely crucial. But here's the first curveball. They're not alone. Apparently, Doctor Doom himself is on board. And get this, he's not coming to invade. He's coming as a messenger, with a terrifying warning about incursions that could wipe out entire universes. Yeah, talk about an awkward road trip.
But hold on, because this is where the story completely veers off the road. That whole rumor, as crazy as it sounds, is apparently just scratching the surface. It's just the tip of the iceberg.
I mean, think about it. The Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom on one ship? That's already a full house, right? Well, according to this new report, it seems they had to squeeze in a couple of, shall we say, unexpected plus ones.
That's right. The rumor says there are two other legendary heroes hitching a ride on that ship before it even shows up in our sky. We are talking about an absolutely epic carpool.
And we're not talking about just any heroes. We're talking about Steve Rogers and Thor, two of the original Avengers, plucked from somewhere out there in the multiverse to help in this fight. If this is true, this changes everything. Okay, let's pause for a second. Because if Steve Rogers is on that ship, we have a major question we need to answer. This is where it gets a little complicated, but trust me, it's so worth it.
So, which Cap are we even talking about? Is this our Captain America, the one who got his dance with Peggy? Or is it some random variant from another timeline? Because the answer to that question is a really, really big deal.
You know, it could just be a different Steve from whatever universe the Fantastic Four come from. But that kind of feels like a cheap way out, doesn't it? Like a technicality. The theory that has way more punch is that this is our Steve Rogers, the old man on the bench from the end of Endgame. Just think about it. When our Steve went back to live his life with Peggy, he created a whole new timeline. So what if the FF and Doom, on their mission to warn everybody, jumped to that specific timeline to recruit a battle-hardened, legendary hero who knows what it takes to win? It just makes sense. All right, so if the Captain America situation was a puzzle, then the Thor part of this rumor is a full-blown paradox. This one is a much, much tougher nut to crack. Because remember that Doomsday teaser? We see Thor, and he looks like he's on Earth, maybe New Asgard, praying for one last fight. He looks like he's right here, in our reality, digging his heels in to defend his home.
And there's the problem, right? If he's already on Earth getting ready for a fight, how could he also be a passenger on a ship arriving from another universe? At first glance, the math just doesn't add up.
So how could this work? Well, there are a few possibilities. Maybe our Thor flies out into space right at the beginning and that ship just picks him up. Or maybe this has something to do with his brother Loki, now that he's basically the god of all timelines. Or, and this is a big one with a ton of comic book history, maybe the Thor on that ship isn't our Thor at all. Maybe he's a totally different variant, recruited specifically for a multiversal war. So let's pull all these threads together. Let's look at the big picture here, because if this whole rumor about the secret passengers is true, it does something absolutely brilliant for the story. It creates this incredibly clean, powerful connection between a bunch of the teasers that we've already seen. It means they're not just random clips of our heroes. No, they're all part of one single reality-breaking event. Think about it. The Captain America teaser, it's about Steve. The Thor teaser, obviously, it's about Thor. And that Wakanda teaser, where they meet the Thing? Well, guess where the Thing came from? That same ship. It all clicks. 3 different teasers, 3 major characters, all arriving in one spot. Now, I know what you're thinking. This theory ties almost everything up in a neat little bow, but what about the X-Men teaser? You're right. Professor X, Magneto, Cyclops, they don't seem to fit into this arrival party. And other rumors actually back that up, suggesting they have their own completely separate run-in with another universe.
So what we could be watching is the birth of a true multiversal Avengers, a team handpicked from across different realities, all brought together on one ship to be the first, and maybe the last, line of defense. And if it takes all of that just to stand a chance, what hope does any single universe have on its own?